edition of Bamcomixs, everybody. I'm your host, OC, and we're going to be talking today about the Avengers Beta. I've been waiting for this game for a long time, ever since it was announced. Last year's Comic-Con had an Avengers Beta display booth, and I was so happy to know that there's going to be an Avengers game. I've always wanted an Avengers game for PlayStation, but one way or another it never came to fruition. But now it looks like the fans have spoken. Big shout out to all of you who are following us on YouTube, who are following us on Instagram. Make sure you hit that subscribe and notification button to get the latest updates from Bamcomixs. So as I was streaming this game, I absolutely fell in love with the amount of detail that they put into the graphics and the art. Graphics. As I was loading the game up, it did have a commercial for Fortnite. I don't know why there's any connection between the Crystal Dynamics Avengers game and Fortnite. A great big explosion that it's like a sabotage of the helicarrier in the story in San Francisco Bay. We see the player automatically switch to Thor. And Thor was the first playable hero I got to play. Now, Thor, okay, I'm playing with him, little sluggish, little slow. I'm saying, why is Thor moving so slow, okay? I'm liking the gameplay and the combat similar to the Batman Arkham series, okay? With your tapping your square button. So, for the first 3 hours playing it, I was really excited. Started off with Thor, immediately played about 5 minutes with Thor, switched to Tony Stark, okay? So, the sluggishness from Thor, I just went to Tony Stark and started, you know, flying around this Tony, okay? Unfortunately, you can't control that flight, okay? You can only move forward in the flight. You really can't slow down. So once you're in the air, you're in the air, okay? And it takes you, it's not on rails, but you're flying around, you're shooting stuff with your unibeams. Tony is also incredibly sluggish. Okay, just like Thor. Okay, so now I'm sensing a little pattern here. Maybe I gotta continue to play the game. As I continue to play the game, after Thor and Tony, we go into the Hulk. Playing as Hulk, I'm running. I'm jumping from trailer to trailer, from the bridge point to another bridge point. I'm smashing, I'm destroying, and I'm having a blast, okay? This game looks like, okay, well, if I was uneasy with this game, if I had questions or what ifs, this game is certainly like bringing its A game, okay? And this is all within the first 30 minutes to an hour I'm playing this game. After the Hulk, I transition to Black Widow. Black Widow, she has her combo moves. She's moving, doing combos, doing all this crazy stuff. So this campaign, first mission, is exciting. Like, strap in, because this campaign is gonna get crazy. Captain America. Flash forward to him, right on the helicarrier. Cap is using his shields. He's jumping over agents that might be Hydra, might be former SHIELD agents. I'm having a blast. I'm hitting combos, but I'm feeling a little sluggish from Cap as well, okay? After I played the Avengers, so you really only get about, I would say, maybe 5 minutes with each of the main Avengers protagonists, okay? So I think for the first 40 minutes, that campaign opens up and it's great, okay? Still some parts slow, but in the fighting, but everything, okay, on point, we're on board, everything is going good, I'm having a blast, okay? That's about 40 minutes into the game, okay? You're gonna get a cutscene. So, Bruce Banner, okay, before a Senate committee, he's going on about, okay, Avengers are a threat to humanity. So, Avengers disassembled. Okay, the Avengers are disassembled, they're not assembled, and so now you only have 2 playable characters. You have Bruce Banner and you have Kamala Khan. You go through a kind of Last of Us little, you know, sequence where you have Banner and the girl. You run through a generic forest environment, beating up, not Hydra, but AIM. Advanced Idea Mechanics, okay? So it looks like Advanced Idea Mechanics AIM is the main villain of this story. Okay, no problem, okay? I'm still invested, I'm still playing with Hulk. I still kind of feel Hulk is sluggish. Okay, but I'm saying maybe I gotta continue playing the game. So this is what leads to the fluctuation in the user experience, okay? So, long story short, I'm playing with Kamala. She's stretching out like Mr. Fantastic, hitting all of these enemies. Abomination bust out of nowhere. He's like 10 times taller than Hulk, and it's Hulk and Abomination. And I'm fighting my second boss of the game. Like, wow, we're really getting somewhere, okay? We're really transcending in Marvel, okay? Even though the graphics are not as bright as they are, they're not really a comic book. They're trying to go for a realistic look. I'm like, okay, this is different. This is something that is like I'm getting into and I'm liking it, okay? Now, I get Kamala back to the helicarrier that the Avengers use, okay? And I get back there. 3 hours into the beta, I am loving it. Even if it's a little mediocre in some parts, okay? Even if it's slow, even if I can't do all the things that I wanted to do, I'm still loving it, okay, guys? I'm an Avengers Marvel fan. Around hour number 3, Crystal Dynamics does something, okay? Everything was great. You know as well as I do what happens when a game introduces a marketplace. Like, no, guys, this is not the Avengers game we want, alright? Now, I don't know whose idea was it to introduce a marketplace, but everything that I said prior, when I saw this marketplace, it sort of negated everything that came before, alright? Because not only does the marketplace introduce you to skins and variants of your favorite Avengers. You want to play as different Avengers in different skins? That's going to cost you 800 points. That's going to cost you 1600 points. That's going to cost you 300 points. That nameplate is going to cost you 400 points. That skin is going to cost you 600 points. I got to the war table. The game opened after you do that campaign part, right, which is great. The game opens up a war table. Now, what is a war table? A war table is basically a map of the globe of Earth, right, where there are different missions placed. And you can select these missions. Now, thankfully, they don't force you to play online with other people, okay, because if they did that, definitely I would be returning the game. You could also play with AI, okay? I'm sure the game, like most games, it's going to be fun with friends, okay? But when the marketplace arrived, at first I was like, it's only skins. But if this is going to be Destiny with Avengers skin, then we already know that the game is not going to be concerned with telling a great story, but rather monetizing each and every facet of what you want from Avengers. So you know Spider-Man is a Sony only exclusive. Is Spider-Man integral to the Avengers story? No, I don't think so, because he's not available for any other platform. So that means you probably might get Sony Classic Spider-Man. You might get Venom Spider-Man with the black suit, right? You might get Captain America or a different suit that he had in his covert outfit. You might get different skins. You might get Secret War skins. You might get a Professor Hulk. But you're going to have to pay for it. And to me, that's just a huge slap in the face of anyone who calls themselves a Marvel fan. Because, of course, Marvel fans, comic book fans, are going to eat that stuff up. Now, you're not going to know any of that until you play into the beta. Because the beta doesn't introduce that, okay? You have to really, really play deep into the beta until you see the marketplace. And when you get to the marketplace, you're going to see a whole bunch of microtransactions, and You know, I really hope that this is just the beta and they don't carry it over to the main game. I got to the third boss in the game after I beat Taskmaster and Abomination. I got to a murder bot that it was just a grindy boss. I was there for almost an hour, more than an hour fighting this boss, right? And I haven't even increased anything, guys. Why can't you unlock these skins, right? Which in the future, I'm sure the skins are going to be connected to power levels and also grinding with loot, because why does it say a loot reset in 6 days and 23 hours? If you're going to force me to be on a game because it expires in 4 days and 6 hours or whatever, then that's not the Avengers game I want. Why can't you be like the Nintendo Switch, where you can unlock these? There's no time limit, okay? And every day I've been on Play Avengers site telling them, guys, remove the microtransactions, okay? You're gonna get so many more people happy with your game if you just remove these microtransactions. You can make a sequel, and the microtransactions are probably gonna come in the form of coins. And I know you guys don't want to hear this. I'm giving you my honest opinion. By no means am I telling you not to buy the Avengers games. I'm not telling you don't play the beta. I'm just telling you my opinion, that I'm disappointed that these guys at Crystal Dynamics and the publishers at Square would take a fandom that everyone loves, and instead of elevating it, they just make it into another Fortnite, another a Call of Duty type of grind video game that, you know, it's just, you're gonna have fun for the first 4 or 5 hours of it, but after that the combos get old, the characters get sluggish. Black Widow is the fastest and best character, along with Kamala, Miss Marvel. They are fast characters, so in their Instagram they're gonna show you a lot of Black Widow gameplay because Black Widow hits those combos. But why should I have to play a game for like, why should I have to play Tony Stark for 15 hours so I could get Tony Stark to play good? And when you get gear that augments your characters, you can't even see the gear, guys. The skill tree for each, which is melee combat, special moves, are small skill trees. His hair looks like a dead rat. Even if you purchase the game, don't fall for microtransactions, okay? You know, it's up to us to tell these publishers, these companies, that we don't want this in our games, guys. It's not about the story. It's not about, you know, telling a good narrative anymore. And it's not probably even about gameplay anymore. It's about what you can buy with tokens to unlock skins and other items that will make your character good from the get-go, when it should have been, your character should have been good from the get-go, okay? Your characters should have been already responsive. There's no excuse for Hulk to run so slow. There's no excuse for Tony to be so sluggish when he's fighting, okay? You shouldn't have to play into the game 15 or 12 hours to get an augment that'll make your character at least decent, okay? And the fact of the matter is, the game is gonna be fun. I'm gonna allow, definitely, to be honest here. The game will be fun, and there were times when I had fun with the game, okay? It'll definitely, with friends, be fun. But there's gonna be a point, I mean, there's gonna be a point when you're gonna get to it and you're gonna be like, man, this is the same thing over and over. I mean, yeah, all games have that. But there's a formula that you can make to it, right? Where even though it's repetitive, you're having a blast, okay? And it wasn't that for me. You can't pick up things in this game. A lot of inconsistencies. Hulk can't even pick up a chair in this game. He's the Incredible Hulk, one of Marvel's most fearsome characters, most strongest. You know, he can smash things, and then when you see him kick open a treasure chest or a loot box, it's just hilarious that the guy can't pick up a chair, he can't pick up a canister, he can pick up enemies, but he can't really, the environment around him, he can't interact with it. Hulk is supposed to smash, he smashes, but by the 100th time I'm seeing Tony turn into the Hulkbuster, I'm like, okay, I've already had enough of this. Remove the microtransactions, remove the time loop, guys, and you're definitely gonna have a classic on your hands, you know, if you, you know, make a really good story. But I just feel that Crystal Dynamics and the publishers and Square Enix is really interested in pushing out a game that has the name of Avengers. Microtransactions are a big problem. You're gonna milk the fan base. Okay, you know the fan base will eat it up, but you're taking advantage of them. You know, you're locking content behind a paywall that should already be in the game. You can't switch between Avengers. Once you have a team of 4, you're playing with your AI companions, you can't switch, which means if you're locked into one character, you're gonna stay with that one character. That was my review of Avengers, guys. I'm really disappointed in Play Avengers on Instagram, and disappointed in Crystal Dynamics that they would think that we just want Destiny with an Avengers skin. I pre-ordered the special collector's edition with the statue. I'm going to be unboxing it on this show, so stay tuned for that. So that was just my honest review of the Avengers, guys. I was very excited in the beginning, but as I continued to play, my excitement went further and further down into disappointment. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching my Avengers Beta review. Hope to see you guys on our stream on Twitch at Bamcomixs. Follow us on Instagram at Bamcomixs, and please hit that subscribe and notification button. Bamcomixs on YouTube for all you guys out there following us. Much love, big thanks, and this has been OC for Bamcomixs, guys. Peace.